Yes, they won't remember me. Your face will be the reason I smile, but I will not see what I cannot have forever. I'll always love you. I hope you feel the same. Oh, you played me dirty. You gave us so bad. Toy with my affliction, had to fill out my prescription. Now the way I'm addicted, had to set you free. Away from you to see clearly the way that toy with my affliction, had to fill out my prescription. When
Good morning from Veterans Council Veterans Facebook and LinkedIn. This is your weekly update. Hi, I'm Tony Williams from Veterans Council Veterans CEO. And what I like to do is I always like to provide an update to people out there who follow Veterans Council Veterans on the things that we're doing. And you know what? We're still doing stuff. We're being active. We're trying to make a great impact for our community. The one thing I do want to mention to you guys is, hello, how you doing? Am I here? And I did have a meeting. Well, not me personally, but it was given by the Florida Association for Veteran-Owned Businesses with Omar. Shout out! We had a town hall at 11:45. We got a chance to sit there and talk to, or not talk to, but listen to General Hartzell talk about what's going on with Florida Department of Veteran Affairs. And for those of you guys that don't know, General James Hartzell is the actual acting director for the Florida Department of Veteran Affairs. I'm waiting to when they finally going to sit there and actually get somebody to appoint to that. And for me, I'm hoping it's going to be hard. So if anybody else, so anyway, get ready for our update. First thing I want to do is, and some of you guys out there how already know that I want to also, this is April. April is considered the sexual assault and awareness and prevention month. And I just last night, or not, I'm sorry, as you were, last Saturday, I was at opportunity to listen to this group here. Is a very empowering group. Thanks, a shout out to D James for actually giving me the heads up this was happening. And what it was that it was hosted by the Alpha Gamma Swans, and they had anybody who had a story, either poet, artist, dancer, rapper, whatever, to actually come on and to just express how they felt being military sexual trauma survivors. And I tell you, it was very powerful. It was the first time this event occurred, and I'm encouraging them. Everybody encourages them to continue to have these kind of forums, because the people out there who are suffering, and especially this COVID-19, they need a resource they can go to. They can go there to start the healing, to continue the healing, and also have some kind of network and response, somebody supporting everyone out there. So I want to give a shout out to the Alpha Gamma nine swans for that particular event. Also, for those guys, those who may have missed it, every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on my Facebook Live, Veterans Council Veterans Inc. Facebook Live, and on my LinkedIn, you will see our broadcast that is focused on military sexual trauma. And I want to just quickly go over what we've gone over so far. We had our male survivor panel. That was a great and I learned a lot in that particular panel. We had the women veterans of color, and military sexual trauma panel. That was an excellent panel. Learned so much. And then last Friday, we had mental health providers. And I want to give a thumbs up to Bay Pines and James Ailey. Both of them came on and discussed the particular resources and treatments for military sexual trauma survivors that the VA provide. But not just them, but I had also a couple of, two practitioners. Major Jelene Shin, she was in the Marines, and now she's in the Navy. She's an Army psychologist now, and she has her own private practice. And we also have Jean Gautreau, who has her own private practice in Melbourne, and also a tribe for Veterans Council Veterans come MST. And last night we got Scott Allen, only guy on the panel, and he works at the Cohen Veterans Network, and they actually call themselves Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic and Aspire Health Partners, and that's in Tampa. So that was a really interesting panel. But what do we have for this Friday? This Friday, it's the advocates' time. It's the advocates' time to sit there and, because, the whole different conversation when you got the people who are credentialed to the people out there fighting the fight, the grassroots out there just fighting this military sexual trauma that's continuing to increase. In fact, I think this 22nd is actually going to be Vanessa Gillian's anniversary or anniversary of her death. And if anybody out there know that they created a memorial for her at Fort Hood. And I know that one of our guests that are going to be on for the advocates, Katie Trobak, and even D. James, a lot of those advocates went out to Fort Hood to observe this event. So hopefully you guys get a chance to see that event where Fort Hood actually decided to try to create a memorial for Vanessa Gillen. And what I want to talk to you now is that, okay, so as I mentioned that we're going to have the advocates. So the advocates here. Let me do a quick interview who they are. First, we're going to have Katie Trobak, who is the Army veteran. She's the founder of My Sister's Keeper movement. She's out of Jacksonville, Florida, but she is like national, and she's out there grinding. I think a couple of days ago, Katie went to an event and she got arrested or whatever, taken away. I should say, I just told Katie, please, Katie, don't get arrested on an event. Okay, so we got the event on Friday. Try to stay out of harm's way until after the Friday. But she's out there still doing what needs to be done. Is your advocate, and that's what advocates do. Advocates, they are. This is not their job. This is their passion. And you're really lucky if you're able to sit there and combine your passion with your job. But in this case here, Katie's out there fighting a fight that must be fought, not just by Katie by herself, but the whole veteran community. If you got a DD form 214 or a relationship with somebody with DD 214, you should be part of this fight as well. We're also going to have Demeka Jackson, our Army veteran, and she's the president of the Jacksonville Veteran Chamber of Commerce. She's also an advocate for military sexual trauma. So you'll hear Demeka on as well on tomorrow. And then last but not least, we're going to have Paul Lloyd, Army veteran. He, of course, is big-time military sexual trauma advocate, and he's the founder of Paul Lloyd's MSC Survivor. And one thing, Paul's out there grinding, fighting in Utah, trying to get legislations out there that can provide relief and services for veterans out there who are suffering from military sexual trauma. So I'll make sure you guys understand that. It's going to be on tomorrow, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can see the broadcast either on Veterans Council Veterans Inc. On the Facebook page. Because if you're a friend of mine, you're a buddy friend, click the mail and you'll see it then. Or if you're connected to me in LinkedIn, Ellsworth Williams, Veterans Council Veterans, any of those three platforms, that you'll be able to see the broadcast on Friday. So hope to see you there. Share, spread the word. And last but not least, this is something that's very personal to me. For me as Veterans Council Veterans, this is one of our things that we really is one of our number one priority. We are really into being advocates for veterans suicide, but we do the whole gambit. We're not just about awareness. We're also about training, intervention, and postvention. For those out there who have not heard of postvention is when a veteran has lost a family has lost a veteran suicide, and there's almost no resources out there. The only resource out there for families who lost a veteran suicide is TAP, which is Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivor, and that's it. Well, Veterans Council Veterans want to change that, at least for the state of Florida. So we want to provide that service. And so one of the things we do is our 7th annual. Every year we have a special ceremony set aside for families and friends and veterans who lost a veteran suicide. And in our mindset, that we want it to be a safe space, because a lot of time when you go to a Memorial Day ceremony, you may not want to, people may ask you, how did your loved one die or pass away, or whatever. You may not want to say suicide. And so we want to give a space that when you come in, you're going to sit there and you'll be comfortable. Everybody there is part of that family, that community. We're going to have, it's going to be just like a memorial. We're going to have posting of the colors. We're going to have invocation. We're going to have benediction. We're going to have tasks being sound off. And we're going to have at least 2 guest speakers. So this is going to be on the 22nd of May, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And what I'm trying to do, last year it was a virtual. So this year we're trying to see if we can do a little bit of in person. So please RSVP, because we're only going to do like maybe 10 to 15 people that will actually be at this location in person. You're going to find it at the American Legion Post 5 on Kennedy and Del Mabry. And it's you see the address there, 3810 West Kennedy Boulevard, Tampa. Please RSVP info, as you see there on the flyer, info@vetcounseling.org. And we're accepting, as usual, we're a nonprofit, so we're always accepting donations, but we want to, the donations give us opportunity to continue to have an impact on our veterans out there, no matter what's going on. So I just see Veterans Council Veteran is still out there. We're still out there grinding. Our organization is run by volunteers, including myself, and we want to continue to have an impact even with doing this COVID-19. So we'll have our last broadcast for the No Sexual Trauma next week. It'll be a town hall. So if you're interested in being part of that, let me know. Email me, text me, or link me up with Facebook, and we're going to have a nice town hall where we can hear from you guys and ladies about what you think about military sexual trauma in the military today. I know I've seen a lot of articles about it's harming recruitment, it's harming retainment. I mean, it's a bad thing. And just because you don't see it on the news, don't mean it still not exists, right? And even though April is a month of sexual assault and awareness and prevention, it should be every day, every month, because it's happening all that time. So don't get too comfortable. Finally, I want to say something. I'll make a commentary on finally we got the verdict from Chauvin. I tell you that the country was holding its breath, expecting something really bad happen if he didn't get convicted, and he didn't. And we saw that in this case here the law worked, the system worked, but there's still a lot to do out there. And I don't want to give my commentary. I don't want to get probably crushed on this, but there's still life out there. This is more like out there, but there are people out there who are living their lives, trying to fight, trying to struggle, trying to get to the next day. And we got to keep our eyes on those as well. So sometimes media has a tendency to divert and look at something else, the shiny ball, the shiny object, but there's still people out there who are struggling, hurting during this COVID-19, especially veterans and their families. So we got to make sure we continue that. We already got something else going on now with the young lady, teenager that was shot by police, and now that's the new rage now. But then at the same time, people out there, veterans and their families out there suffering. We cannot keep our eye off the sparrow when it comes to continue to help veterans and stuff. So once again, this is my update. I hope to see you guys on Friday at 6 o'clock Eastern, either through my LinkedIn link, connect me with LinkedIn, or my Facebook, either our Veterans Council Veterans business page, Inc., or me personally, a friend of mine. The few I have, you can see as well. So I want to leave you guys out to what's going on. I hope I know it's Friday and. I mean, the Friday. I'm sorry, as you were, I miss my days and tired, but it's Wednesday. It's that hump day, and so I know that we're still trying to get that hump day and be able to go cruise down on Thursday and Friday. Thank you for taking the time out to listen. Please share this. Please share this. As usual, I want everybody to know that Veterans Council Veterans is always looking for volunteers. I mean, that's important. We need the volunteers, veteran volunteers, to be part of this, so we continue to be out there on the ground, affecting people's lives, real people's lives. So you see there, we're accepting volunteers. The email address is right there on the screen. I hope to get some things. And last, but I always got to say that sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. And so I appreciate everybody out there who is sharing what we're doing. And you never know that you're blessing someone. Maybe sharing God's blessing by sharing what we're doing, and they know about that as far as what's going on in the veterans community when it comes to mental wellness. And I say this all the time, and I continue to say this. The one thing about Veterans Council Veterans, we just don't take care of veterans. We take care of veterans' families as well. So until then, guys and ladies, this is Veterans Council Veterans. I'm going to see you on the other side. Now let's listen to a little bit to pretty things here.
You are not winning. I had to live. I had to live. I had to leave. I had to live. Love set you free. Your pretty wings are pretty wings. Your pretty